Unmute myself first. Thank you, Stacy, for giving me a few minutes today. One thing I want to share is that when I first got started with essential oils, having worked with childbearing women for now 35 years, 10 years ago was when I got started with doTERRA. One of the very first questions I asked all the executives, and they were much more accessible back then, was, are these products safe for pregnant women and breastfeeding women? That was my clientele. And I knew that if they were safe for pregnant women and breastfeeding women, that they were safe for anybody and everybody. And I had a resounding yes. And as I have worked with them over the years, I too add my resounding yes that these products are safe. They are safe for pregnant women. They are safe for breastfeeding women. They are safe for the little newborns. I use them in the birthing room. They are safe all the way through to the end of life. And I love that about doTERRA's essential oils and their focus on purity and potency. Clearly, it does make a difference. One thing I will also say is that I used essential oils for a couple of decades before doTERRA, and that was not my experience with other essential oils. And as I have educated across the world for 10 and a half years now, I have been exposed to many differing brands of essential oils. And I will say without any equivocation that doTERRA holds the market on purity and potency and therapeutic consistency. And so I keep it really, really simple. I during pregnancy, I say, Mama, if it doesn't smell good, put the lid back on and set it aside. And until it does smell good. And I want mamas to say, oh, that smells so good. I want her to want that. I do not want to throw a pregnant mama into fight or flight because that affects her baby. And so, with regards to the little newborns and what I do right after birth, I really love these essential oils. I want them to smell their mommy first. And then within that first hour or two, we're applying oils to them and doing what I call a newborn anointing, which is really beautiful and it's really fun to do. And it's really, really, really cool. I don't know how else to say it. Really cool how the baby responds when we open up the oil bottles. They've been exposed to them during pregnancy if mom has been used to them, and so they're already aware of essential oils probably if mom has been using them. But what I love to do, I should have grabbed my oils, but I love to take my bottle of frankincense and just touch the top of the bottle and put it on the crown of the baby's head. I don't even use a drop. I just touch the top of the bottle and put it on the crown of the baby's head. And then I love to use the myrrh essential oil around their umbilical cord. The myrrh essential oil is the one that actually is what I call the oil of mother baby nurturing and mother baby bonding. It reconnects us to our Mother Earth, reconnects us to our Heavenly Mother. Frankincense connects us to our Heavenly Father. And so the myrrh connects us to our Heavenly Mother. And I love to apply it around the umbilical cord and on the tip of the umbilical cord with the open vessels. As long as everything's okay with the baby, if we don't have a NICU baby, we can do that within the first hour or two. And that seals off the cord, but it also helps connect mama and baby when they've been separated because the umbilical cord is how they've been together for all these 9 months of pregnancy. So that's a really beautiful thing. And then I love to use doTERRA's Balance Blend on the baby's spine and feet. And again, I'm touching the top of the bottle, swiping it. And I probably touch the bottle 2 or 3 or 4 times with the balance just to get it down their spine and on the bottoms of their feet. And then I use a little bit of Melissa oil on the bottoms of their feet if we've got it available. Just a touch of the bottle top, open bottle, touch the top, swipe it. That's all you need. And so you can use a little bit of carrier oil with those, but with the balance oil, I see the babies very often will take a big sigh. That's what I hear very often when I use the balance. And my response is, yeah, that was a big journey. And just welcoming them here and helping them understand that, yeah, we welcome the effort they made to get here because they are really an active partner in birth. And so I love, and the Melissa oil is the oil of light. It dispels darkness, and we want them to come into a light and a world of light. And sometimes it doesn't feel that way to these babies, and sometimes it doesn't feel that way even to us. And so using that Melissa oil is fantastic. Just a touch on the bottom of their feet to help surround them with light and help bring in the light in. And so there's some really fantastic physical benefits of the oils for everything that comes your way, mamas. These oils will empower you in a way that you can't even yet imagine. But for every physical ailment that we experience, there is most often an emotional um, background. And so I'll let Stacy do that another time. But I just want to assure you that these oils, especially doTERRA's oils, only doTERRA's oils, this is what I would use for babies and pregnant mamas, are really safe for your babies. One of my very, very favorite things to give to my mothers, and I'm still working as a doula. I have a baby due in November that we're getting ready for, and not me personally, my doula client. And I love to prepare them. And so as I get ready and prepare them for birth, I love to gift them a bottle of fractionated coconut oil with 3 to 4 drops each of lavender, melaleuca or tea tree oil, and Roman chamomile. And I use that for everything, and it lasts like 6 to 9 months. I use that for everything baby. If they're fussy, I rub it on their feet or their back or their belly. If they need to sleep, I rub it on their feet or their back or their belly. If I'm changing diapers, I rub it on their bottom with every diaper change. And that is something that I highly recommend taking to the hospital. You swab their bottom with that little diaper collection of fractionated coconut oil, lavender, Roman chamomile, and tea tree oil, and that meconium sticky tarry stool will not stick to their bum, and you'll be able to wipe that off really easily, and it won't be a big cleanup job. So that's something I really love to give to my clients as we prepare to go to the hospital, so that they have what they need to do that. And so that's everything baby. I use it after bath. I use it for an infant massage. I use it for all kinds of things, and it lasts a very long time. And it's a very, very small amount of oils, 12 oils or 12 drops. Actually, it's 9 drops, 9 to 12 drops in a 4-ounce bottle of fractionated coconut oil. That's a really tiny, tiny amount. And so you don't need to worry about that, but it's very effective. So that's one of my very favorite things. And I love that doTERRA has everything you need through that first year and beyond. Whatever milestones that baby makes, you're covered well with doTERRA. You're muted, Stacy.
Okay. Thanks for telling me. I accidentally hit that. Thanks, Debbie, for sharing that, because I love how she gets to see the moms while the baby's waiting to get here, and then she gets to be there right when they start, and then we can pick up from there and help these mamas learn all the different things that they can implement so that, it's easier to help them along this journey. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to share with you a whole bunch of tips and tricks that are easy and that I think you'll find that you'll be glad to have on hand. So let me share this and I'll present it. Okay. So this is a picture that you probably saw on Facebook or wherever, Instagram, wherever you found it. And I'm just going to tell you a couple of things. Now, Debbie did cover a list for me, so we don't have to spend a lot of time. But with doTERRA, these are 100% natural. There are no additives or anything like that. So you don't have to worry about these side effects, right? They're pretty amazing. It's just from plants. And this is going to be certified pure therapeutic grade. And this is 50 to 70 times more powerful than herbs. So this is why it is going to work great for our babies. We don't have to be all concerned. These are used, they're trusted in a lot of hospitals all around the world and a lot in, the US. So they're safe, they're effective, they're working from the cellular level. So when there's, upset tummy, a rash or things like that, it's going to heal a lot quicker and we're going to feel that tummy ease up in just a few minutes because it's going directly where the area is. We don't have to wait for it to go through the whole digestive tract. It'll work, 5 to 10 minutes. So it's really going to be great when mom is trying to help this baby, right? And then it's affordable. So really, like Debbie said, we're only using a few drops in a whole roller. So it's going to last you a long time. I would say a couple years. My kids, when we started using oils, we didn't have the privilege when they were little. I didn't know about it then. But they were teens, and say lavender, we used it every single night. We used it on their skin, we used it to help sleep, we used it with our seasonal things, allergy stuff. And we were using it all the time. It still lasted us a year. That was 4 bedrooms we used every night, and 3 kids, and things like that. So this will definitely stretch your money. It's going to help you. So it's pennies per dose. The other thing is we will use this a lot with the baby aromatically in the bedroom. and just letting them breathe it in, it really can help respiratory, it can help them sleep, it'll help their mood. So this is the easy way to do it. We will also do it topically with babies. And like Debbie said, often on the bottom of the feet, but we could also use it along the spine, on the tummy. You know, she mentioned with the newborns on the umbilical cord. So this is another really easy way, but very quick relief. And here, you know, you'll see a couple of ideas of different ones. And then for as they get older, we will do it internally as their kids and, you know, teens and stuff. So let's go ahead and hop on in. I do want to remind you for babies and children, the dilution is important. Now, this doesn't change how effective it is. Okay, some people think, you know, we're used to saying dilute juices or dilute things like that, right? And it cuts it. This, on the other hand, when you use fractionated coconut oil, it actually protects it so that it stays on the body longer, so that you're having a longer effect, and it's helping it drive it to where it needs to go. Okay, so it's not, in fact, it's not changing the effect and making it weaker. It's just helping it to stay there and last longer. And then it's also protecting the skin of young ones. So we're stretching it to where um, it's a little softer for the kids, right? It's so strong that, you know, one drop compared to with 5 drops of the carrier oil, the fractionated coconut oil, is going to go a lot longer for babies. They don't need as much as the adults, right? So for babies, I would say 1 drop per 10, you know, in a carrier oil, and 1 for 5 with children. And you can see over here the ages, right? If you're looking at these size bottles, you can just figure out, you know, the ages, and you can see once they're over 6, it's going to drop, right? And 12 and up. Now, I do have mamas that are having strong, like just from the bottle, 5 and up. And I do have some mamas that have used digestin and stuff below 5, straight on the baby. Okay. So you trust your mama's instinct, because these do have things that are going to be safe for your baby. And most babies have not had any kind of complaints or crying. And I'll show you some other tips. Now, these are the ones that are considered our hot oils that I would not use on little ones. Clove, cinnamon, oregano, thyme, cassia, they are hot. Peppermint, I would throw in there too. They're just hot oils. Now, peppermint, we will use it often to bring down a fever and stuff like that, right? But I will show you, it's in a roller, it's easy. So it is diluted, is what I'm saying. And on the bottom of baby's feet, with lavender and stuff like that. And it's in the blend for tummies, okay? But these 5 we really don't use too much on babies, right? Now, oregano and thyme can, and clove as well, can be in other formulas. It's in On Guard, the clove, and things like that. But it'll be already mixed, it'll already be diluted, it'll be less, okay? But we're not going to take the oil bottles and use these. So I just wanted to, if you hear about hot oils or stuff like that, this is what they're talking about. Now here we're going to get right into the recipes. So maybe I'll just do it like this so that you can see the whole thing. Sometimes when I present it, it makes it a little bit, can you make the screen bigger? No, okay. I just wanted you to be able to see the whole thing. So for a good night's sleep, this is something really simple, right? 3 drops of frankincense and lavender. And you just fill the rest of this up with a fractionated coconut oil, okay? Maybe I should put coconut oil in there. Anyhow, if you see a recipe, it's going to be the drops that you need, frankincense and lavender, and then the rest of it, you just simply pour the fractionated coconut oil in there, and you'll see that it fills all the way. Let me show you. I'll stop real quick. When you do it, and you have just a clear bottle, let's see, here's one that I've made, but you don't have to worry about taking the fractionated coconut oil all the way to the very top, okay? Because when you put in this roller top, it might come out. So I always just stop right where the indention is. I just go right there. And if you look at the ones that doTERRA sells, you'll see that's where the liquid stops. You see the change. It's stopping right at the top. So you don't have to go over that, and you don't have to stress. Okay, I've seen some moms like, oh no, it was 4 drops or something. Okay, it's okay because we're diluting it so much, but tilt it to the side. Don't turn it up like this. Just turn your bottle to the side, and it'll drop, and you'll get to know which ones go fast and which ones go slow. But we're gonna go right back into it. So if you saw, you can make your own, right? You could take the frankincense and the lavender, but you can also use calmer, and it's already pre-made for you. And there's some other oils in it as well, but it does have those two in there. It has kananga in there. It has Buddha wood in it, and so they're very soft. And it's going to help the baby to calm and rest and relax. So I find some mamas are like, okay, well, I already have frankincense and lavender for me or for my older kids. Now I can just make this for my little one, right? Or some didn't have a baby at the time, but they did have older kids. Now they have the baby. Some do not want to make anything. So this is if you want to take, a little bit already pre-made, easier path for you. You can do the calmer. I figured I better cover everybody's comfort. And then after they get used to it and they make a couple of things later for themselves, they'll make it for the baby too. But here's an either or for you. I want to be simple, okay? All right, so tummy discomfort. I know that my first son was very colicky, and then my second son wasn't colicky, but as he got about this age, after he was a year, he had some tummy upset for a while. And so you can use tamer. You could just rub it on the tummy, and you can rub it in a clockwise motion, and it's going to help settle that stomach. You could also take a drop of fennel or ginger and then fill it with fractionated coconut oil, and those are going to help to ease. It helps the digestive tract, and it helps to ease all the things that could be going on there. Okay, think of anything that causes the discomfort, and it will help with that. Now, on the other hand, I didn't put this on there, but I will show you. Digestin is already in a roller, and a lot of now it comes straight, okay? But this is, if you see where it has the word touch on it, then that means it has the fractionated coconut oil in there. It's not like it is in the pure bottle. So this is diluted as well. So I have had some moms just use the Digestin and rub it on the tummy too. Okay. The fennel and the ginger are just a little bit more delicate, and so is the tamer. It's just instead of some of the oils that are in there, like this has spirit. No, it has peppermint too, but it has ginger in it. It has just a few. Yeah, it does have spearmint. Okay. So the spearmint, you can tell because when you smell this, I am not one that I like peppermint, but I like spearmint better. And peppermint used to bother me, doesn't anymore. But when I smell this, it's more of the spearmint, which is a little bit gentler, and then it has a little bit less of, and it's a little peppermint. You know what I mean? So you can pick and choose. You can smell it. Now I can say for even just an upset stomach, there's times where I will just smell it, and the nausea or the upsetness will be at ease. Okay. So don't be afraid to like let your baby smell your hand after you roll it around their tummy. It does help with that. Okay. So I know sometimes it's hard to tell what's going on. So I have done a couple of things. I'm like, okay, let's try this. Okay, now let's try to make you a happy baby, and that's okay. So let's go back. Okay, so there's the tamer for the little ones. I know that this seemed to be the worst for me. And then just in general, babies go through a lot, and they can be, just not calm and just need some settling, just need some comfort, right? So this is just when you have that toddler that is just having a bad day, or the baby. That's why I said I think between if they're just not happy or the tummy thing, I think those two, you're like, what's wrong? So don't feel frightened to do both. You can do both and let them settle down, right? Sometimes new mamas are like, I'm not sure which cry is what yet, right? So wild orange is very gentle and it's relaxing as well as soothing and uplifting. So it can help soothe them, just make them feel happy. Lavender is also calming and soothing. Okay, so you can take 3 drops of those and put it in a roller, or you can have the steady. And steady is a grounding blend. So Debbie mentioned balance, and balance is another grounding blend. That would be the adult formula of steady. And some kids, some mamas use the balance and some want to use the steady. So honestly, you can flip flop between the two and find which one works for you. But you'll see on balance, it says grounding blend, and on steady, it says grounding blend as well. So there, I just wanted to show you in case, some mamas are like, are you sure? But yes, I'm sure. They both are grounding. Like I said, there's just some similar oils that they'll have, and some of it they'll put a little bit less. Some of it is a different oil but has the same chemical makeup. So you're addressing the body the same way with something that works. So it's pretty cool because they watch the science and look to see what's good for the kiddos. Okay, what about when our little ones just get a cold, right? And right now we're getting into that season and we just want to boost their immune system, right? Or they just, they have something, you want to fight it a natural way. This can really change quickly, okay? So stronger or on guard. So either one of these are a protective blend. Again, just like I showed you grounding, both of these say protective blend. Okay. Now my teen will just grab the stronger sometimes, depending on where she's going. She will use the stronger because it's a light smell, and she just likes that one. But she will go and grab the On Guard and take an On Guard soft gel. So she will do it both ways. And honestly, if you know that they're not feeling well, or just to protect them, you can just rub this along their spine or rub it on the bottom of their feet every night. Okay, you can just do that as a way to help boost their immune system. All right, now when you know that they have some kind of cold or something they're fighting, you can rub this on their bottom of their feet or along their spine, whatever you choose, or both. You can do this like every 4 hours. Think of it like, as you give medicine, you do every 4 hours, because it will go through their whole body, right? It will metabolize and then there's nothing left. So you want to do it again. Now, if you do that every 4 hours, you will see that, in a day or two, they will get over this cold and it will be gone. So I don't know if you've ever tried it, but go ahead and give it a try. You'll see that things start shifting. Okay. Now, baby bottoms. This is an easy blend, and I kind of wanted to push this to the bottom, but my friends have used this a lot, and I was really impressed. So you could just take it's just lavender and the tea tree, and it's already the touch formula. So it's not like the straight bottle, it's got the coconut oil already diluted for you. And they would just take, they kept this separate in the diaper bag so that no one else would use this, elsewhere. But they would, after they wipe down their baby's bottom, they would just rub this on the bottom of their baby while they're changing it to prevent any kind of diaper rash or things like that. Now, if they do get a rash, then doTERRA actually has the diaper cream. And so you won't have any of the toxins in there, okay? And I'll address that and talk about that a little bit later. But this has been great. Now you can also get a 2-ounce spray bottle, and you can put the drops in there, about 10 drops, because it's 2 ounces. It's going to be a lot more than 10 milliliters, right? You can put 10, 15 drops and then fill the rest with water and spray the bottom. So I've had mamas do both, but that is a really great protection spray. And my daughter used to have blisters where it would be like blood red, and we had to go to the doctor and get special things. And if I had this, I saw my friend, her daughter was like that. And then she's like, man, I just used the lavender and tea tree, bam, it's gone. She said, if ever it's really bad, where I didn't catch it in time and there's some kind of, where it is like a blister, she will add rose and frankincense and it'll heal like that. So, or helichrysum, that's another one that you could add. But just as a, if you're using this all the time, you'll find that diaper rashes happen less frequently. Now, brain power. Okay, I know that littles under 5 is what I'm gearing this towards. They're not in school, but there are different things that you can see, and even on infants, um, you can put it on the bottom of their big toe, which is the receptor for their brain, and help things, right? Because their body sometimes can have mixed signals, and they can have stress and stuff like that. And often babies will have things that are passed down from the gut of the mom to the baby. When I worked in pediatrics, we would test the baby's cord blood right after birth. And 80% of babies already had toxins there. So we want to help those babies. And by doing it on the big toe, it's helping pull any toxins that are on the brain. And so that's really going to help. It helps with a lot of different kids that are on the spectrum or things like that later. But even babies that you're not seeing anything yet, you can see different things happen. So I just wanted to throw that in there. Even though typically you think about school age kids and older, this is also something to consider with little ones. Okay. So now fears and anxiety. Some people don't think that kids have anxiety, but think about this. They do know separation anxiety. They do know that when you have a little one, they will start crying. They just know this is my mom. Don't leave me, right? There are some kids, some babies are like that, some are not. I've had both. Okay. So I think it was easier to leave the one that was not crying. But when she went to kindergarten, I was kind of sad that she didn't even care. But they do have fears and they do have anxiety. They do have different things, and we want them to be able to relax and not have that stress going on in their body, right? So this brave blend is great for courage and helping with that feeling. So you can, if they're 3, 4, 5, you can rub it on their hands, or two. Two can do this too, and you can just tell them breathe it in, breathe it in, take a deep breath, just breathe it in. And actually, there's a nerve behind your nose and it goes to the limbic system and it tells the whole body to relax. So just breathing in, that's what it does for the whole body. And if you think about it, this nerve works if you've ever had surgery or you ever go to the dentist. That's the nerve that you put to sleep this way, or you breathe in the laughing gas. That's the same nerve that helps you relax. It also helps go directly, your brain and your head is not the brain for emotions at all. Okay, it just tells you how to respond. The brain for that is actually in your gut. Okay, so this nerve will go, there's neural pathways that go from the brain into the gut, and it's going to help soothe. Okay, just by smelling it. So this is really, really great. Okay, when you know that your child has a fear, sometimes I've seen kids that have night terrors, or they see something scary, and it's not scary to adults and it's not scary to older kids, but younger kids are confused with pictures sometimes, and they interpret it a whole different way and it became scary to them. So my daughter had a picture that she saw somewhere of a shark and did not want to potty train after. She held it and held it and held it because she was afraid that there would be a shark in the toilet. Okay. And that became a real fear with her. And we had to work with her on that. And she had bladder infections and everything. But if we would go with her, she would say, okay, you can grab me before the shark gets me. I don't know how this happened, you guys, but um, nobody else thinks that sharks live in toilets, and that was her fear. But she was, as she was going to school, I was like, what is she going to do at school? And we told the teacher sometimes she wants you to watch her. They had restrooms, just one in every classroom. So we did tell that teacher, and luckily we worked with her, and she let go of that fear and was okay. But this is just an example of how things are scary to kids that don't make sense to us. And this is an oil that my daughter used a lot for calming herself and realizing things. So that's just an example. Now, rescuer. Okay, it says a soothing blend, but I have looking at using different blends in ways that people don't think by looking at the ingredients in there. So typically, it's saying for joints and muscles and aches, right? And that's great, and that's what you can do with this. I know my kids when they were little, about 4 and 5, they did have growing pains that young. My daughter was exceptionally tall, so she had now she's average, but she's 5'9". But she was always growing and she had aches. Okay, so this is great for that. Or if they like bump, bruise. I mean, how many little ones have the bumps and bruises? I know around 2 and 3, they will actually be walking and look behind them. And I don't know if you've had one where it's like a bump on each side of their head because they're bumping into walls and stuff. It's a common thing. I worked in pediatrics and saw it all the time. And this will help with the little bruising and stuff like that. On the other hand, if you look at the ingredients, now you can use Breathe. There is Breathe, and it is in a touch, so you can use it for the babies. This is just a little gentler. So Rescuer can be great for opening airways for kids, and they like it. I know a lot of them will use this, so I just wanted to put both of those so that you can think of that. Um, and I want to show you this. These kid oils actually come like in this little zip container, and you can clip it on. It comes a little D clamp or whatever you call that. C clamp, can't remember which one it is. And you could clip it to like a backpack. You can clip it to a diaper bag, and all of these oils are in it, and they come in there. And they even have little. You can clip this to like if they just want one, if they just need Brave or something, and they're like, "Mom, I just want Brave." You can give it to them just that one, and it won't fall off of this little suction thing. In fact, I had a hard time. I put all of them on mine, and then I didn't want them on. It was hard to get this sucker off. But at the top, it has this little draw bag, and you could put something else in there too. But it has this key ring, which are, oh man, this light right here is, there you go, flashcards. And as you go through it, this is great because babysitters and stuff like that, it'll say how to use it. And it says a note for caregivers. And I've gone to schools lately telling schools, listen, there's a lot of kids that are, some schools are open. I don't know if you're in an area that's open, but there's a lot of kids that are going to be using oils in your school. And I think it's wise that we stop and have some education just on oils. We can send a piece of paper home to other kids so that their parents don't freak out, because I've heard a lot of crazy things like, oh, my kid's gonna have, an attack or allergic to this or that. And that's not how the oils work, okay? And teachers, we don't want them to stop these kids from doing things that are helpful to them. So we want the teachers to understand as well. So I did some basic education, and the schools were so grateful and asked me to come back and asked me to go to other schools as well. So anyhow, they can see these, and it's like Thinker, to help us focus. And on the back, it'll say how they can, what it does, and how they can use it. Roll Thinker on the back of your neck to support your mind and enhance learning. So it's telling them exactly what to do, and schools are happy about that, and so are daycares and stuff like that. They don't have to worry. So it's telling you back of your neck, bottoms of your feet, and that's going to protect your body when you're not feeling well, right? Rescuer, okay, and I think this is the one that says, yes, your legs, feet, back to soothe an active body, right? Like the muscles and stuff. But remember, the ingredients in there can show you that it can help airways as well. Steady, and then it'll show you, okay, where to put it and to help with anxious and nervous feelings, to help comfort your emotions. Tamer, and it says digestive blend underneath it. And then again, it'll show them exactly where to put it. And then Brave, and again, it'll show them. So this really helps schools and daycares and stuff like that be at ease, as well as like the babysitters. Because I've heard a friend that was like, my kid ran out and got this, and she's like, no, what is that? And then when she saw the little thing, she was like, oh, okay, I guess your mom can, do that. So this is really convenient and easy to carry. And it has those great cards that are extra helpful too. So now I want to make sure that there's no questions, and then I have a few things left to share with you to share in your home. So has everything I said made sense? And again, there's the peppermint touch, there's helichrysum touch, which is just great for healing. It is a little more expensive because it's a very strong one as far as healing. It's like a powerhouse for healing. The tea tree, so these just come. Now you can get a kit that has oregano, peppermint, lavender, those kind of things, digestin, breathe. It has 10 of them that are touch rollers. So you could get that and you could get the kids kit. It's up to you. Rose is not in that either, but that is an option. So I just wanted to let you know that they have made lots of rollers because they know that lots of moms are using this and they know that they want it to be easy. So I'm like thankful. I like it even though I don't have any little kids anymore. Mine are all teen and above, but I use them. I carry the balance or I carry stuff like that, and I've even used the thinker myself when I do continued education for different things, whether it's counseling or stuff like that. I still will bring out that thinker. I like it a little bit better than the Intune, which is for the adults. So adults can also use these. I also like the tamer for my tummy. Okay, so it's not restricted to kids, just like the other ones are not restricted to the adults. It's just, use it and see. So if there's no more questions, I'm going to go back to this and I'm going to show you some other things, okay? This is something that my friend made, and it's showing you what she does to her babies, and she teaches other people too to do this every day. So frankincense on the back of the neck, balance behind the ears, because it's just bringing balance to the whole body, okay? Breathe or lavender or eucalyptus or spearmint, as I told you, the rescuer, you can use that on the chest for opening their airways. For tummy, now this was before the kids line. She made this before the kids line. So digestin or the tamer. I've already told you those, but like the peppermint, basil, and juniper berry help. For the spine, just for immunity, frankincense. At night, lavender and serenity is lavender peace. They're in Australia, so that is along the spine to help them sleep better. Now for the balm, I told you the lavender, tea tree. You can add the helichrysum or rose, and then feet. So frankincense, just because it helps everything in the body, it helps all the cells function and everything. And then on guard or the stronger. That was the oregano. All that is the immunity blend, but they didn't have it back then. So, and then big toes, what I was talking about, like she has Intune here, and she made a little brainy blend, but you can use that thinker to be helping the babies. And this is strictly what she said for babies, what she was doing with hers. And then, she had another baby, so her other one was a younger kid, a 5-year-old. But balance or peace are great as well. You can change them out. You can use, to help them sleep. You can use lavender. You can use serenity, balance, or peace. My mom came to doTERRA strictly because of sleep issues. So she used balance and lavender across her forehead and the back of her ears every single night. And she was on sleep meds, and they were giving her horrible side effects. So she got off the sleep meds and was sleeping. The nice thing is that when we use oils, she could stop taking that medicine. It helps her body to naturally adjust. So now she doesn't have sleep trouble, which she had for years, and they did sleep studies and everything. But then her body was able to balance and adjust naturally, and she doesn't need sleep help anymore. So I just wanted to show you like the balance and things for the kids. It can be as needed, but then also it's helping your body to adjust. So it's great. Now this is another thing that we have done over time, but it's telling you these are the top 10 oils. These are also the top 10 that you can get in the roller form, okay? And these are just ideas for overall people, but you'll see some things that, immune support that sticks out for kids. The blemish stuff for tea tree would be like, or gums and teething, but, the baby bottoms and stuff like that. Lavender will still be for sleep or when they get stressed or, coughs, it helps with mucus and stuff like that. So does lemon. But it can help just cleanse their body. The peppermint for like overheating. for digestion. Oregano is a natural antibiotic, so it's great for immune support and stuff like that. Digestion for any digestive issues or anything you see here going on. Some mamas use it when their baby can't have a VM and is backed up. The On Guard, of course, for all of your germ protection. And then Breathe for opening those airways, helping when you get stuffy, and then Deep Blue for the discomfort and things like that. So that's just a thing I wanted to throw in there. Now, I wanted to stop and let you think about toxins in your home because this is something that I didn't understand when my kids were little. And I saw the effects of that as they were older in several ways. My son started having migraines when he was 8, terrible migraines. They got worse. He had several a week. He failed 6th grade and he failed 8th grade because he had 4 or 5 a week, and nothing on the market would work for him. So as I started turning to oils to help, he had to go to school and he was in high school and he said, Mom, I can't fail again. So that's how we were looking at it. This is how we came to doTERRA after my mom said, well, maybe this can help him. Um, I started looking at why migraines were happening and researching the gut. And so I found that these were toxins that build up and change how your organs function. The same thing was a little bit different for my daughter. She actually had inflammation disease. We could not figure out which one. Children's Hospital tested her for numerous ones, and it was a rare thing. So they were looking at other pediatric doctors in the nation to try to see someone that might have the same markers as her. But they tested her for everything that they know of. Now, it caused her to not be able to walk and stuff like that. So I had to look and learn about the gut. That's really when I started studying and researching tons on the gut. And what I found now, her pediatrician, years ago when I worked in a pediatric office, she went to that office and one of the doctors there said, I think she has a gut issue. Now at that time, she just had pains in her stomach that would flare up once every couple years. And they checked every organ in her body, okay? But then he said, I think this is a gut issue. I don't know what to do. And I said, well, what about probiotics? And he said, that's a great myth. And I was like, what do you mean? He said, most probiotics aren't getting to the section of the intestines we need it to. You can eat all the Activia you want, it's not going to help. He said, so the thing is, you're going to need a really good, strong, powerful probiotic and prebiotic. And it needs to get past the stomach. It needs to get past the upper intestine area to the lower intestine area. There's only a small section that absorbs nutrients, period. And there's an area that has IBS and the areas that get inflamed that cause allergies, that cause all these things, right? So the doctor was telling me that this was going to get worse. All he knew to do was give her 4 big bottles of antibiotic, but she would have no immune system for 4 or 5 years. We didn't think that was a good idea, neither did he, but he didn't know what else to do. So fast forward, that was when she was 10 and 12. It happened once more before we moved, and she had just turned 14. We moved to Georgia, and she was 14. And at 15, she woke up not able to walk. And then sometimes she could walk, but her wrists wouldn't work or her ankles wouldn't work. So as I started researching this gut, I realized we were going to cleanse her organs so that they would start functioning better, right? And that would get rid of the toxins that were creating this inflammation. After she was better, if she went to a field trip, her chorus would tour and they would go to different places and sing. And if they stayed in a hotel and she forgot to bring her natural stuff from doTERRA, we had switched everything over once I realized that this gut thing is contributed to by things in your home. If she did that, she would get achy in a week or 2. So I feel responsible to tell other moms that the things that you have in your home, they actually change the functioning of the organs. They create respiratory distress and problems. They cause asthma. They cause these kind of things. And I did not know that when my first son had asthma. I did not know that when my son was having gut trouble. And then he had the migraines later. Okay. I didn't know it when she started having different gut trouble and then later wasn't walking. But I came to find this as I was researching. So think of the things that are in your home that you're using on your little ones doTERRA found it that important that they really are looking at oils, right? And they're really looking at supplements. They do have probiotics for babies, and um, I forgot to throw that in here, but you can use the children's probiotic. You can give them just a quarter of it, okay, once they hit like 2 or 3 months, and then you can increase it as they get older to a half, and then by a year they can take the whole thing, okay? But these things that we use, I want us to just be aware of, because I would go back in time and change it for my daughter. So there's a mama, and she's a friend, and she showed us how to make over your diaper bag. And I know you can't see these, so I went through, and these are the oils in this section right here. She just listed some oils that she carries in her diaper bag. Now, I've already told you some, but she does carry the Breeze, she does carry the Digestin, Roman Chamomile that Debbie hinted to, lavender, and melaleuca. For bumps and bruises with kids, these two are the owie blend, and sometimes we throw this in there too. But then these two just come up at different times, right? Now there is the kids ones now that I told you about. So you can throw that little thing with a little topper in there, or you could throw the little kit in there, right? So I just wanted to show that. But then here's where she has some recipes on here. So for homemade baby wipes. Now doTERRA does have On Guard baby or wipes coming out soon. But I have tons and tons of moms that have switched. My friend had a NICU baby. She was born 11 weeks early. And she thought the hospital was being cheap by using gauze pads and water. Okay, so she went home, and then after she used some baby wipes, and her baby's bottom was just raw, so raw. So she was like, maybe they were onto something. Now she did know about oils already, so she switched to this. And then after that, I've had several moms. It's just simple. You just take some paper towels or napkins, and you can cut them and you can put them in here. You put 2 cups of warm water, put 2 tablespoons of fractionated coconut oil, which is going to keep the moisture in so it doesn't get dry, right? Then you're going to just put 3 drops of lavender, 3 drops of tea tree, and then you put it in a container, okay? Now I've had moms either cut it with scissors or cut it with a knife. It's your choice, but then you can put it in the container, and that's it, okay? And it's great. Now those are the 2 oils I said help prevent diaper rash, so you can see this can be really healthy. Baby powder is a no. I think you might have heard that, there are some different issues that people have come up with. So you can just use cornstarch and arrow root powder, then a drop of Roman chamomile, and then 2 drops of lavender. And then you can put oats in there, just a little bit though, okay? And then mix it up in the shaker bottle. And I've seen different kinds of shaker bottles that moms have made, but you can find them sometimes, or you can empty yours and pop the top back on there. And some people use a spice jar. Yeah, I did see a lot of people that took the bigger, how you find bigger things with cinnamon or stuff like that. You can use that. That's what I see most mamas using. And they just decorate it the way they want, take off the other label. And then you have a natural baby powder, okay? And then diaper cream. Now they do have the diaper cream. Some moms said they prefer to make their own. So since I've seen that, and sometimes a while back the diaper cream would sell out, so they wanted another answer. So this is why I have this in here. And you can get beeswax. They come in little pellets and stuff. You can get it on Amazon, really cheap. You can use 3.5 ounces of the fractionated coconut oil, and doTERRA does have that. I like theirs a lot. There is some other ones like MTC you can get, on Amazon too. I have done that before as well. 2 drops of melaleuca and lavender again, and then put it in a glass container. It's easy to get out of glass. And the lavender and melaleuca, you don't want it to break down anything that would be plastic, okay? So you can also keep like a little spoon in there if you want. Some moms keep one for stirring it up and then putting it on there. But it's really, really easy to make. I was afraid to do this. I was a little bit about double boiler pots and all this. I was like, oh, it's too hard. But now I have done it and made my own lotions and stuff. It's really not that hard. But the recipe is right here. And I can send you all the people that attend. I'm going to get your email, or if you know Janelle, if you know Kayla, I will send it to her. And it has the recipes. It's just a PDF for the diaper bag makeover. So if you want to do it, you'll have it to look at later, okay? I also have an ebook that is oils and babies that I'll send you. and another one for kids. So I'm going to send that as well. Um, but then there's just a few things that are left for this. That's it for the babies, okay? But if you don't have an account and you want to get to it, talk to the person that invited you. You can buy retail. It is the most expensive because you won't get, the 25% off. If you choose to get an account at wholesale, you get 25% off of everything that you decide to buy, but you're getting awesome products, right? And then if you want to get below wholesale and get points for everything that you buy, which you can then in turn use for free stuff. I do that all the time for my household products. Okay, all that list that I showed you about, we get everything free. We just save our points. So talk to the person that invited you to the class. If you decide that you come to the class and you want to just learn how to use this in your home, Janelle, other people, we all get on class on Tuesday nights and we discuss other topics, whether it's digestion or hormones or immunity or skincare. We did last night. We do all kinds of topics. You're free to join us. Um, doTERRA, also when you get an account, they have a whole education system that you can just look through. You can click on different areas and it'll show you different products to use and things like that. If you decide to share with your family and friends, because often people go, hey, mom or my sister, or, use this with me, it's better for you, then you can do that and you can get your products paid for. And then other people actually want to build an income. So I am doing that. I have done that for the past few years, and 4 years going on 5, and it's been great. So I build a pipeline, and I'm going to just really quick touch on that in case you're wondering what that's about. Um, so really, I had a traditional job, right? And I worked at hospitals, and I was just not in control of my own time, basically. If I wanted to get paid, I had to go in. I became a single mom, and my first husband had a brain injury, so I became a single mom, and it was very hard with 3 kids to be there as much as they needed me. They were older and able to come home from school, but they just needed me, and I felt bad about that, right? And I wanted to be there more. So I was able to just look at that and get more time freedom, and really I could build a residual income. There is no limit to your advancement or your earnings. And that's what happened with me and Debbie. You can find that she's delivering babies. After that, there was no more advancement for her, and that's all she could make. So she chose it for that, right? And I chose it for pretty much the same reason. And now I'm working to do it so that my fiance can be home with us. Um, Now, I just want to say, why did I choose doTERRA? Because I did look at other oil companies. I did look at other things, but to me, other kind of companies, health is always here, no matter what. They also have all these things that we use in our home that I could go to Target and get nothing for, and it's clean for the environment, but it's not so healthy for my body. That became important to me when my daughter went through this, and after she was healthy, the next year is when I decided to build. Okay, so it is the most tested, it is the most trusted, it is the most used in the medical community. There are over 8.5 million customers. It's used by doctors, hospitals worldwide. It is the largest essential oil company. They have a growth rate just like Apple and other companies like YouTube or Facebook or stuff like that, right? They have record breaking retention, which means that if I was going to try to sell something, I want a higher retention rate. And it's just because these products actually help us feel better. And, you can use them in your home, and people stick with it. They love the way they feel. They love the quickness, especially with mamas, right? They like when they see a result in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, right? So the retention rate is high. The average is 13%, and with doTERRA is 65%. They also partner with the growers on the other end of the bottle, and they do amazing things to let them become business owners in third world countries and help them. They are privately owned and they are debt free. Now, how do we do this? I actually give samples to people. And everybody that I know, like Janelle, Debbie, we let people try things to let them see how it works for them. And then we say, hey, let me show you more. Would you like to come and learn? And we teach them in classes like this or just other classes. and they can choose which ones they want to come to. Sometimes we'll give them a gift for coming to all 8 on various health topics. And then they let them get their own account. Okay. And they could do whatever they want with that account. They can buy just like they do off of Amazon or whatever, and it comes directly to them, right? If you get the account, there's ways to get more perks. You could get free shipping, you can get things like that. And then we just support them however they need it. If they have more questions, we answer their questions. If they want to learn how to share, we help them share with their family. We help them find the answers and solutions that they're looking for. It can produce income, okay? Whether it's just a car payment or whether it's more. That's up to everybody individually. People are in different situations. I know lots of people looking for a job career change. I know some people that are like, hey, I just need to get another car for my kid, or could this cover my daycare? Okay. Everybody falls in a different spot. With Debbie, which she was doing, she needed to make a bigger income, okay, bigger than me. So it has to be able to reach people on different levels, and it does that. And the more people we help, um, the more that we see our income change. Now, the time, that's another thing that people ask about. So, just to have your products paid, which is what most moms want, and that's how I began. I didn't really care about anything else. I just wanted my family to be healthy, and I just wanted to have some relief. Okay, so 3 to 5 hours per week, and that could be done within a couple months. Okay, so that was 200 to 300 a month, and pretty much that's what I would spend on the household things I get from DoTerra. And my oils last forever, but I do go through supplements. I do go through the health part, the vitamins and probiotic and stuff like that. Okay, so that can cover that. Now, if I wanted to supplement my income, if I want that car payment or stuff like that, 10 to 15 hours per week. Okay, and then if I really wanted to replace my income, it would be 15 to 30 hours per week. And I show people, if they only have 10 hours, how to maximize those hours. Debbie and I work with, and so do others, we work to show our team how they can maximize those hours and what to do that will get them where they want to go. Okay. It's really just about meeting people where they're at and then showing them, well, later on we can get more time. And then could it work for you? Do you like the natural approach? Then that's probably going to be an easy way for you. I was already doing stuff, making my own laundry detergent well before I found doTERRA. I was making toothpaste and stuff long before doTERRA because I worked in hospitals and I saw these different results. I learned how to do pediatric research and I wanted better for my kids. This made it a lot easier. So that was a break. Do you care about friends, family, and other people? Then probably I had no intent of doing a business. But I started telling my brother, this, you should try this, you should do that. I started telling friends, hey, the diaper rash thing, here, take this roller and rub it on there. It was just who I was. So that generally happens with everyone. After some time that they know it's working for them, they share with their friends and family. And then people that want to do this, a lot of people go, is it simple? Is there a system to follow? And there is. Okay, it's really simple. So, suddenly you can just know that it's time to start something new and trust that new beginnings happen and it's magical. And really, I've seen so many lives change that I love doing it. I love when I see moms change their household. I dedicated last year to the elderly and I saw them get off of medicines and be in less pain and have more energy. And they were like, wow, just because we're old, we don't have to feel old. So I've worked on all spectrums of the age thing. And I worked with all different kinds of kids on the spectrum and, difficult things. And when I see lives change, it makes me keep on wanting to do it. So now I have a business where I, just recommend things to people and show them different protocols and come into different offices, whether it's counseling offices or doctor's offices, and they have them meet with me. So you can have any kind of opportunity you want based on whatever the type person you are. A lot of us just started doing this at home, but I had a background that was a little bit different, so I took that back in there in my own way. But most of my friends are at home, and I just show them books that they can look up things in and go, oh, bruised knee, this is what you use, and it's just alphabetical, like a dictionary, and simple things that say, hey, 3 drops of this on there, upset stomach, do this, um, it can be anything, eczema, this and that. But I let them see that they can do it all on their own. It's not for you to be stuck to us. It's for us to like say, hey, you can take this book just like we can, and I'm here to help you. Whenever you have questions, we could do it together, but you can do it on your own. So I hope that this gave you some ideas and shows you some simple things, whether you're the make and take kind of mama that likes to do it all, or if you just like, just give me something to put on the baby and be quick, I have both types of friends, and I'm a little bit of both depending on what it is. So I hope that this shared some ideas that you can implement, and you can see that there's different ways that you can address things quickly and help your little one just keep on going on and not be at discomfort. So reach out to the one that invited you to this class, and let them help you with the things that you need help with. We can help you do a consult and address different things. If you have more than one thing that's in the back of your mind that you could get help with, then talk to us. We definitely want to help you. And then we hold your hand as you get used to this way of doing things. And we look forward to seeing you again.